Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Vivian from ThePaperLetterBlog, and today, for the first time, a journal with me video. So, I made a journal. I used a frozen pizza box, empty of course, and I turned that into a journal. I'm not really going to give you a tutorial on that because there are people who can do that way better than me, and this was my first ever junk journal, so I thought I would just go with the process and try making something on my own. And I'm going to link a video down below, or multiple videos down below. I know my friend Kira made a video about how she creates journals out of empty boxes, and it's just going to be a way better tutorial if I link those. So if you want to learn how to make a junk journal, I suggest watching one of those videos, and if you want to see how I make my first pages, then you can continue watching this video. Okay, what I'm showing you here is basically my setup, because what I did is I created three little what do they call again? Inserts, I think. 3 little inserts of different pages, and then normally you would pierce the spine, but I wanted to keep the spine pretty, so I actually pierced I put the inside of the journal on a separate piece of cardstock, and then I glued that to the inside of the spine of my cover. So that does not make a whole lot of sense, but as you can see, I made 3 individual sections with different pages, because if you make one fat one, it's going to be too fat. But again, I'm going to let someone else explain that to you, because this is literally my first time. I made a lot of errors, and yeah, this is just a trial version for me. So now I'm flipping you through all of the pages. By the way, I told you that I used an empty pizza box, and then I covered that up with pretty paper. And the pages I used for the inserts are so many different types of pages. I used pages from Flow, the Flow book for paper lovers, the Flow journals. You also have those notebooks from Flow, or journals, I don't know. I used some of that. I used some scrapbook paper. I used, as you can see, that the outside, the one with the oranges, is actually a calendar. I used vellum. I used different notebook pages. I used a paint chip sample, as you can see. So the back is not very pretty, but you can cover that up. I used vintage book pages. I used a lot of paper that I received from you guys, either graph paper, because for some reason I have a thing for graph paper, or that vellum paper, for example. Someone made an envelope out of that, and I decided to use that for my journal. And I also have in there, that page is a vintage book page that someone stamped some pretty pictures on. So I'm using all sorts of paper, and basically what I did when I made this journal is I collected all paper I liked, and then I kept changing, and I kept putting things together. That's a vintage book page, which is absolutely beautiful. I kept putting different pages together until I was like, yeah, you know what, this actually inspires me. And that is when I made the journal. A vintage map page, yeah. So yeah, this is just me. This is going very slowly, but after that I'm going to make it quicker, and I'm going to speed it up. But I just wanted to flip you through these pages kind of slowly to also give you an idea of maybe what type of paper you can include in a journal. This is definitely paper that has inspired me, because some of them are kind of blank, just like graph paper, and others have a more busy print. I wanted to do both so that I could kind of change and see what works best for me, because I also know a lot of people have just simple pages and others might have just scrapbook paper, but this for me is like a trial version to see what I actually like in a junk journal. So there's that. And now what you see me cutting is actually pictures that I printed, but they look really, really weird, and that is because my printer ran out of ink. But I did want to make that video, so what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to first make my layout basically with the the orangey pictures, and then in the end I'm going to replace the orangey pictures with the same pictures but then printed correctly. So this is just to give myself an idea of which pictures I want to use and where I want to put them, but then in the end you will see the finished result. Those little books I have, I bought all of those Project Life cards on like second hand, and she also sent me those, I think they're called Smash books. I'm really sorry, I cannot tell you where you can buy them, but they're basically pages you could fill out and put in a scrapbook, I guess, or a memory journal or something. So yeah, like always, my process is just, I'm first going to pick out a whole lot of things that I could potentially use, and then I'm going to go ahead and see what I can create with that. So you can see me pick out a whole lot of things that I'm not actually going to end up using, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I only knew that I wanted to make my first page kind of an introduction page, like this is me and this is my journal, just to give it a little bit of a personal feeling, and also to, like, when I look back in this journal in, let's say, 10 years, I want to have a little bit of an idea of how I am at this time and what my life looks like. So that was my goal for the first page. That sticker book I'm using is a journaling sticker book from Crate Paper. I will try to find it and I will link it down below. It's really, really pretty. It's very expensive actually, at least in the Netherlands. I've heard that other people can buy it for like €8, but for us it's, I think, 16. Sad story, but it is so pretty. It has those journaling prompts, it has the days of the week, it has months of the year, and it has a lot of pretty stickers. So I basically wrote, this is me, I think, and then 22nd of August 2019, and then I put that sticker that says, oh, hello there, and I just traced it with a green fine liner again. And now I'm going to try and figure out how I want to put those pictures on the page. And I actually have that paper pad that has those long strips of paper, and I end up using that. So on one side of that I'm going to put the pictures, and on the other side I'm going to put a little story of basically who I am at that time. And I'm using washi tape to stick the pictures down because I did not want to put them on there for real. I wanted to put them on there when I had the correctly printed version. So I picked 4 pictures, one of Sage. The one on the left is Sage. You're going to see it more clearly when I have the correctly printed pictures. Sage, then Noos, then Gijs and me, which is my boyfriend, and then me and the 2 cats sitting there writing a letter. Oh, and I'm also picking a picture of my craft room, actually. It's not the most exciting row of pictures, but it does give a really good impression of me and what my life looks like at the moment, so I'm happy with it. And then I'm writing on the back, I'm writing things like, hey, I'm Vivian, I am 24 years old, and I'm describing what my life looks like. So where I work at the time, what my living situation is like, I think I wrote my goals and dreams, hopes and dreams, I don't remember, but in the end I'm doing like a more close-up version, and then we can see what I'm writing. Oh, and by the way, my goal for this journal is to actually not show it on camera. I'm sorry. I am going to, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a couple more pages I've made, but I found that the idea of having to show something on camera actually makes it harder for me to create. So I basically told myself, hey, I'm going to make this for me and for my eyes only, and then I don't know, I don't have to worry about it looking pretty or something. I can just focus on crafting and expressing myself. Sorry, my cats are fighting in the background. And also it has helped me a lot to do that, to let go of certain thoughts and to write down things. I wanted to say things that I worried about, but also, more importantly, things that made me really, really happy. I, for example, wrote down a couple good days from my new job, which was really good because I'm going to forget those, and I always end up remembering the bad days and not the good days. So I wrote them down so that I can remember, and so that I can look back and be kind of proud. Those dots are enamel dots. Enamel, I still don't know how to pronounce it. I googled it 1,000 times, I still don't know. Oh, and I covered up because the glue stuck to the page and then it ripped. So I covered the tear up with a piece of scrap paper, and then I wrote the date on there, I think. Oh no, I wrote page 1. Yep. And now now I have the correctly printed pictures. I'm going to replace them, and then I'm going to show you my journal with the first pages as well. So some more pages than just this one. Yeah. What can I say? I want to know from you guys if you want to see more journal with me pictures, because I do plan on showing you some more in the future. I'm just going to cover up the pages that I don't want to show. Because I also, for example, wrote about a kind of personal conversation at work where I told them about my anxiety and stuff. I don't really want to show that on the internet, that's kind of private, but I do have some pages that I think you guys would enjoy seeing. So let me know. I cannot promise anything because I also want to make more Happy Meal videos. I know you guys are mainly here for those, but I like branching out and doing different things. Because a lot of people have been telling me that I need to do junk journaling or journaling in general, and I agree, it is really something that's right up my alley, especially because I get to save all of the pretty pages and papers. And I'm sorry for the wobbliness, but I have my camera on my lap now, so that's why it looks really shaky. I'm sorry. But that is the finished first page. This is my yeah, I kind of like that, you know, it's like a fold out with the pictures: Sage, Nose, Craft Room, Heisenai, and me and the kitties. It looks kind of cute, like it folds out on its own, but I really like that interactive element. Then I used one of those journaling cards, "Let nothing dim the light that shines from within," and this is a little envelope where I put a little note I wrote about some of my first days at my new job, and then I ended up writing 2 more pages that I also put in that envelope. It's just an envelope. Oh, okay, I'm covering that up, that's like personal conversation. But I really like this style so far, just everything in once. I have writing in there, that's a page where I tried watercolor doodles, and then the page before I also have a magazine clip out that I really liked, and then this is just mixed media and nothing else, and then that's it. And I don't know, I really like having some kind of a dedicated journal with pretty pages where I can just do whatever I want to do. So that's my first junk journaling video. I really hope you guys liked it. That's Sage, oh, being a cutie. Let me know if you want to see more of these, and I will see you again very soon. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and bye for now.